When people begin exploring the Akashic Records, one question that comes up again and again to me as a reader is, who are you talking to? If you've seen me read before, I ask a lot of questions. I talk a lot during readings. So you ask me, are you talking to our spirit guides, the angels, the records? What does that even look like? It's a great question. And we're here to answer that today, or to try to uh, shed some light into that. The answer actually might surprise you. Today, we're going to explore the similarities, the differences, and why understanding them can deepen your experience with the Akashic Records. I'm the Angie. I'm an Akashic Records reader and an emotional energy healer. And you're watching Soul Cloud. Hello and welcome, everyone. I want to say hi to the people who are in the chat. First, the very early Jacqueline. Thank you so much, Jax, for being here. Oops. Let's do this. And Kat, hi Kat. D Painless is also here. And hi D Painless. And Gerald, Tarot Stash is also here, who's drive lurking. Careful driving, Gerald. And thank you so much for lurking. And Annie Bear is here. Hi Annie. I hope you're doing well. And the magic keyword for today is hashtag masters, as you can see. If it's your first time here, hello and welcome. Soul Cloud is a show where we talk about spiritual concepts and try to answer as best we can some of the spiritual questions. And then during the second part of the show, we do Akashic Records readings or energy clearing. So if you're interested in that, those are randomly drawn. So the hashtag is for that. Please type in hashtag masters for today, and then we'll draw for readings for later. And I want to say hi to Kat. If I haven't said hi to you yet, hi Kat. And Hypnicity is also here. Hi Nalani. And Stephanie's also here. Candy B is also here. Mere Dragon is here. Hi Mere Dragon. Kendra. Hi Kendra. Oh, Annie Bear is painting. Whenever you say you're painting, Annie, I imagine you're just very chillax and relaxing while you're doing that. I hope you're enjoying it while listening. Stardust 315 is here. Hi, Stardust. So today's topic is one that I've been asked many times over the duration that I've been doing this. Um, what's the difference between the Akashic Records Masters and Spirit Guides? Because whenever I'm accessing the records, I try to address, or I address the Akashic Records Masters, who are like the guardians of the records. They're known by many names. Um, I call them the Akashic Records Masters. And to me, since I see the Akashic Records like a hotel, they take on the form of like a receptionist, uh, um, the security, and some of the help, the bellhop. They take on that form whenever I ask them to show me the records. So those are the Akashic Records Masters for me. For others, who see it as a library, they might see the Akashic Records Masters as librarians. So they don't really have a form. It's our way of just understanding them better, is to like assign a form to them so that we can understand them better. But in general, um, they are the guardians of the records. So I mentioned the security, a security Akashic Records Master. One of mine, their responsibility is actually to guard the records, in the sense that If I'm not ready to access something, I will not get to it. That's kind of their job. So, what is the difference between an Akashic Records Master and a spirit guide? So they're both in higher dimensions, so we won't be able to see them with our naked eye. But the difference, one of the biggest difference between spirit guides and the Akashic Records Masters is that the Akashic Records will not tell you what to do. They won't guide you. What they are there for is really to just access the records. These are the facts. It's like they're delivering the facts, but they won't be there to say, give you advice on what you should do. That is the spirit guide's like job, is to guide us. So whenever we're doing the readings and we ask a question, for example, what past life is going to help me with this and that? Whenever I access the records that way, I feel both of them there. And I think the Akashic Records Masters, they just pull out the records, they present the facts, but who chooses which ones to access? I think it's a collaborative effort. That's how I feel whenever I access the records and I have a client. It's a collaborative effort between the spirit guide and the Akashic Records Master. Hypnicity is saying data, just facts. Just the facts, ma'am. Yeah. This is what the Akashic Records do. So they don't give you advice. So whenever we're asking about, like, is this person for me? Or should I sell my house? Or should I move to another place? So those aren't things that the Akashic Records Masters will help us with. They are really just there to deliver the facts to, say, for example, for past lives. They're just going to show it to you. They won't give you an advice. They won't guide you. That is the spirit guide's kind of job. Oh, this is interesting. Annie Bear is saying, my woo idea is I have access to Earth's Akashic Library. That would be my question. Ah, that's an awesome question, Annie Bear. I hope you get drawn later, but I'm going to start that. I like that. And I want to say hi to a few people who are just coming in. Hello, Cheryl. And a Taurus girl. Oops. A Taurus girl reads is here. Hello. Ah, Taro Stash is saying, concierge at sorts. Yes, it really feels that way. Um, when I go into the records as a hotel, I go into the receptionist. It's like an information, and then I ask. But it's not something that I normally do because for me, whenever I access the records, it just plays like a movie to me. Um, but when I ask the Akashic Records Masters, please show me the Akashic Records, it's what pops in my mind. Because for me, it's what makes the most sense, I believe. But it can look differently for other people. Um, like for example, the library is a very common like look of the Akashic Records, but it's not limited to that. If you're interested in that, I've done several videos about what the Akashic Records is, so you can look back into that, uh, into those videos. Oh, and also, speaking of past videos, I've also done past videos about what to ask in the Akashic Records and which source would be the best to ask. You can look back into that, but in summary, in a gist, whenever we're asking about soul guidance, soul development, or soul history, and soul missions, it's great to ask the Akashic Records because the data is there, the information is all there. Oops, sorry. The information is all there on what we've gone through and better understanding ourselves. It's like, okay, this is what I've gone through. So this is the me now. because of the experiences, because of the choices that I did in the past. So those are the questions that might we might be asking the Akashic records. But when it comes to asking for advice, like the examples that I've given you a while ago about moving, for example, or relationships, it's not the Akashic records won't be the best source for that, um, because they don't give advice. They will just give you the facts, the data, and then they will let you decide on what you are supposed to do. They don't guide you into something. They might be able to help you remember, and that remembrance, that data that they are giving might help you make that decision, but they won't tell you what to do. I think that's the biggest difference between spirit guides and Akashic Records Masters, or in the Akashic Records in general, is that they won't give you advice, they won't guide you somewhere. I hope that makes sense, everyone. And if you have any questions, um, you can drop them in the chat. Annie Bear is asking, can the records look different depending on the question? I wonder. I think it's possible because it's not fixed. It's not, I mean, the look of the Akashic records isn't fixed. It's very energetic. Uh, it's a different dimension from my understanding and the way I experience it. It's a different dimension. What it looks like is just like a representation that would make sense to someone who is accessing it. Like for me, again, it's like a hotel. But there are people, there are readers where it looks like a house and they visit different houses, or it's a library. So it can look very different. But it doesn't always change with the question. I think it's different for each reader or practitioner, but I'm not quite sure if it changes based on the question. For me, it just plays like a movie. Sorry. For me, the records just play like a movie. So yeah. Mere Dragon is asking, Dan, have you been rejected by the masters? I wouldn't call it rejected. Mm, but I think what you're asking, and let me know, Mere Dragon, if I understand your question correctly, is if I have not been granted access to a record. And this has happened before. Yeah, it has happened before during our practice sessions because we access places, and places can be tricky because there are um public 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 places that we try to access whenever we practice, like Antarctica, for example, or the pyramids in Egypt. So there are areas out there that we aren't ready to access yet, or we aren't ready to um, remember remember yet. So sometimes we get blocked um, by the masters in accessing the information regarding those because humanity isn't ready for it yet. So when that happens, I ask the records, okay, the do I have the permission to grant or to access the records of this place, for example? And I would get a no. So I'm like, whoa, it's interesting. And mostly it's because we're not ready to access them, or it's not for the highest good to access them right now. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, Mere Dragon. But yeah, when it's about a client who gives their full consent on accessing the records, no, that has never happened. As long as they give you the permission to access your records, and they would be able to. And Anywhere is asking, do they work with their guides in their answering? I wonder. Yes, they really do. Like whenever I do a reading, it's always the Akashic Records Master and the Spirit Guide. And sometimes I can't even tell the difference but it depends on their answer. Like if it's someone who's like giving advice, it's the spirit guide. I think they collaborate on especially past lives. Whenever we ask, okay, which past life would be able to give guidance and clearance to the client or to this person. So it feels like a collaborative effort. Ah, Dr. Pam Pinto is here. Hi, Pam. Oh, and Sue Helen is here. I missed it. Magic with Moonlight is here. Hi, Magic but with Moonlight. Awesome. Pam is saying, just jumping. So not sure what was discussed thus far. When I see the records, I see movies too in sepia black and white or intense colors. And I don't see them as chapters in a book. Yeah, each of us see the records differently. So if you hear someone who experiences the records differently, don't judge them. Okay. Don't tell them, Diane sees it in movies. Or this one person sees it in libraries and you don't see it that way. You're wrong. It's not that. We experience the Akashic records differently. So don't judge them, people, please. And Anna Bear is asking, does our resonance regulate which records we are shown? I believe so, yes. Because whenever we vibrate at a certain frequency, um, we attract the same things. So I hope that helps. Oh, thank you for that, Mirror Dragon. Mirror Dragon is saying, Diane, I wonder if the masters block you out with inappropriate questions. I think you just gave the answer. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad. Anywhere is saying, I have taken Val's Akashic class twice now, thinking about taking it the third time. Or any, you can attend the practice sessions. Email me if you'd like to attend it. Or email Linda de Gonzalez. And Pam is asking, Diane, if we have a question that we really need a response to, will we receive the answer or will the guide say, wait and watch this space? It depends, actually. Hold on. This is more of a spirit guide question. So whenever we ask the spirit guides, sometimes the best response that they can give is to wait and watch and have patience. They don't explicitly tell us what to do either, but they give us advice on certain situations. And there's always the option to do nothing. There's always the option to wait and see. And sometimes that is the response that they give. If it is the best or the best the best option at that moment for the highest good. There. I lost my train of thought for a second there. I love this question, Annie. Annie is asking, could Gerald be, for example, an Akashic master on, on another higher level, even on another dimension? Yes. Not Gerald himself, but possibly Gerald, possibly you, although this is not very common. I don't think it's very common, but I want to pull out my pendulum. I've asked this before as well. Do the Akashic Records Masters incarnate on Earth? I'm getting a no on this, but do the Akashic Records Masters sometimes incarnate on Earth? I'm getting a yes on this. So I've asked this question before. It is possible. It's just that it's not very common. Keep safe, Gerald. And Candy is asking, can we access the records through our dreams? Yes. Sometimes we are dreaming and we think it's just a dream, okay? And then when we wake up, we realize, oh, it was a past life. Or I'm remembering a past life through my dream. So in that case, yes, you are accessing your records. And there are a lot of people who do this whenever they're dreaming. Um, yeah, there are a lot of people who do this unconsciously or subconsciously. A Taurus girl reads is asking, can you tell us a bit about the masters in the Akashic records? What do they look like? They feel like energy. On a regular basis, they feel like energy to me. Like so they don't have a specific form. Um, but whenever I ask to see the Akashic records, they would take the form of something that goes well with the Akashic records for me. So again, what it looks like to me is a hotel. And whenever I need to access like a past life or information, one of them will take me to the elevator or to a door. And then we open that door. So in that case, they take on the form of the staff of the hotel. But there are other cases, for example, for libraries, they might take on the form of a librarian for you. For me, I usually see three Akashic Records Masters whenever I ask to see the records, but it's not a fixed amount or a fixed number of Akashic Records Masters for each person. But for me, there are usually three who appear for me. So they take on the form of the bellhop, the receptionist, and the security for me. So those three. But again, it's not limited to that. And it's different for each person who's accessing the records. So I hope that helps. You have very interesting questions, everyone, today. And Cheryl is saying, can a person read their own Akashic records? Yes, you have all the right to access your own records. It's just a matter of being attuned to it. So, yeah. Gerald is saying, I don't usually see a master. Yeah, for me to normally, I don't. It just plays like a record whenever I ask the Akashic records. Um, but yeah, whenever I specifically ask them, please show me the records, which I usually don't because the information is usually given to me through that movie playing. If they take on that form, like a hotel and the hotel staff. Pamela is saying, me neither. I see a hand or sometimes a hooded figure. Awesome. Okay, Mere Dragon is asking, the image of the record house is created by us individually? I believe so. Um, it's not a house for me, but there are some practitioners I know who see them as houses, and each house is like a representation of the person. So they do. Wow. Drive safely, Gerald. Gerald does not see a master, and it's okay. It's different for everyone. Thank you, everyone, for your awesome questions. I like the idea, Annie. So, everyone, again, if you're interested in getting a mini reading for today, the hashtag is hashtag masters. I'm going to open the record soon, and then let's do the draw. Oh, Annie Bear, I want to answer this. Is there a meditation you could share that would help us read our own? Before I took classes, there was a meditation that I took. It's uh, I've lost the link to it before, but it's the doors method is what I recall the doors, and it's a meditation that lets you go through doors of your past lives. But I don't have the link. And I don't remember the entire the entire title of that video. But yeah, it's the doors meditation to access your past lives. That's what I tried that I really went deep into. But if I see it or if I can search for it later, I'll post it. But yeah, I've lost it for a while. Pamela is asking, would it not be possible to ask how the world began? Interesting. Actually, it is possible. Um, but it might, yeah, I think it's possible. There was a practice session where we kind of saw it, but it's not, oh, it wasn't Earth, it was the moon. But I think it would be possible. Yeah, it will be possible. That would be an interesting practice question. Wow. Thank you for the idea. And thank you everyone for your interest in this. I think Val's class just was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday or today. So everyone, I'm going to open the records now. But yeah, I hope it answers or it answers or it sheds some light on how you understand the Akashic Records Masters. I'm going to open the records now so we can draw for our readings. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Only the highest frequency of love and light can remain in the sacred space and all objects in the sacred space. For the highest good of this group, consisting of myself, those who are watching right now, those who will join us later, and those who will watch the replay. All other energies must leave now. All other energies must leave now. All other energies must leave now. Now I call in the highest level of the divine that knows that love is the power and the truth from which we read. Our highest level guides and angels to help us with this reading. Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron, please hold this sacred space. And so it is. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good, the highest good of all, and the most benevolent outcome. Akashic Records Masters, Spirit Guides, and Angels, please let us know this group in the light of the Akashic Records and enable us to share the wisdom and compassion that the Masters, teachers, and loved ones have for us. The records are now open. Yay! So, everyone, if you haven't done it yet, the hashtag for today is hashtag masters. I type it in a different folder. If you haven't done it yet, please type it in. This will be randomly drawn. So If you see my name drawn, please don't come after me. I get drawn a lot with the giveaway tool. I'm very lucky that way. Uh, so the first person we're reading for, first lucky person, maybe it's me. Gerald Taro Stash, who is driving. Ah, Gerald, please keep safe. And whenever you can type your question, please do. But no rush, okay? No rush. Keep safe and driving. Kendra Lesher. Kendra, congratulations. And please type in your question. Cindy Shea 101, congratulations, Cindy, and please type in your question. Oh, Gerald is pulling over. And last for this round. Erin O'Nugent, congratulations, Erin, and please type in your question. I got your question, Gerald and Kendra. Pamela is saying, I love that you acknowledge your luck, Diane, because it's true. I would be doing my spirit guides a dishonor that they're aligning everything for me and I don't acknowledge them. They make me lucky. Oh, I love your question, Kendra. Yes, it's a very okay question, Gerald. And I got your question, Cindy. It's an awesome question, Gerald. Don't worry. So we're still waiting for Erin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. We're just waiting for Erin to type in their question. So while we are waiting for her, yes, thank you so much, Nalani. I was just about to say that. While we're waiting for that, don't forget to hit the like. And if you're watching the replay, please subscribe if you're liking what you're seeing. This is a weekly show that I do. So if you're interested in getting a mini reading during the show, even if you miss this one, you can catch the one next to it. Okay, the first question that we have is from Gerald Tarot Stash, who is asking, my access to the records is shifting. Any insight for how I can help? Okay. Okay. How is it shifting, Masters, for Gerald? Can you show me? The message that I'm getting, Gerald, is that you've always had access to it. Like it comes in naturally for you. Okay. They're telling me it's just a matter of noticing for you, noticing the subtle differences in energy. Now I'm asking, like, how can Gerald help through his access in the Akashic Records? I'm hearing. Can you repeat that again, Masters? People can move forward more clearly when they have knowledge of the past. There are people who approach you, Gerald, who might be afraid of what lies forward because they don't remember their past. Your access to the records is shifting to be able to provide guidance to these people by helping them remember their past so that they can walk with confidence towards their future. It will get clearer for you because you're getting used to the energy. You have always had this with you. In the past, you've had access to the records. You knew them by different names, but it is the same energy for you. When did Gerald know the records? Can you show me? Was this one in Egypt? But he wasn't from Egypt. They're showing me a past lifetime that you had. Because Gerald, I asked them what they were talking about, that you knew of this before, that you had access before, and they showed me an Earth lifetime. It looks to me like Egypt, except you weren't a native. You weren't from Egypt in that lifetime. You were traveling through Egypt, and this looks like probably 2,000 years ago. Because the outfit or the clothes that you were wearing, it looked like the time of Master Yeshua. So I'd say about 2,000 years ago. And you had scrolls with you, books with you. You were a philosopher of some sort. And you were wondering, you were traveling through different places because you're recording things. It was a journey for you, a journey to look for knowledge and wisdom, to search for the truth. So, where was Gerald from in that lifetime? I'm hearing Israel. You had a past lifetime where you come from Israel and you were traveling through Egypt in search for knowledge and wisdom and the truth. They kept flashing the word to me, the truth. You were trying to look for the truth. And in that journey, okay, they were guiding you through your dreams in that journey. So you were able to remember your past lives in that lifetime that you had. It was a journey to look for the truth, and it was a journey to remembrance. That's interesting. Gerald is saying, of course I had scrolls. Yes, you would write on them. Scrolls, and there was just piles and piles of paper. Like you had them in a bundle. The truth under the truth under the truth. It does feel like what that way, Gerald. Like you were a philosopher. You asked a lot of questions, and you realized that you wouldn't be able to get the answers to those questions where you came from in Israel. Oh yeah, but I hope that helped, Cheryl. And thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope that answered your question. Ooh, Gerald was saying, I expect the September event may have something significant to do with my access. Oh, I wonder what the September event is. But they showed me that it's something that you had within you. You had the access to it. You just didn't notice it. And I think in this life, but in the past, you already had access to it. You knew how to, and it came to you very naturally. Oh, Gerald was saying it has always been natural. I didn't know what I was accessing. Yeah. Okay, I got your question, Aaron. Yay! Gerald is saying this has been very insightful. It answered the question and gave me an idea for a show we could do together, Diane. Yes! Yes! Yes, Gerald. I don't know what show it is, but I love working with you. And I trust you. So yes. Whatever it is, yes, Gerald. And thank you again for letting me read for you. I love reading for Gerald. So the next person I'm reading for is Kendra, who is asking, what limiting beliefs or ancestral patterns do I hold that I currently need to clear? The words limiting beliefs popped in my mind, or it's popping in my mind's eye. So I would focus on that. What limiting belief um, is Kendra still holding right now that she can clear? Excuse me. Is this something to do with your solar plexus, Kendra? It's just burning. It feels burning to me. It's the idea that you're powerless. Do you come from like a family or a culture where women are treated unequally? Because I feel like, yeah, it's very uncomfortable in the solar plexus. And the solar plexus is our seat of power, the energy center that is most connected with our personal power. And I feel like it's because you're a woman. And it has been passed on either culturally or generationally from family members. I want to look for a specific, if it's an emotion that you feel because of that belief that women are unequal to men, or are less than men, that you need to be subservient to men. That's what I'm getting. Oh, Kendra is saying, yes, I do think so. What is she holding in her solar plexus that's burning right now, Masters? Raphael, is it resentment? Yeah. And and being told that what you feel about it or how you feel about this idea is resentment, Because there were things that you wanted to do and you felt like you didn't have the freedom to do so because you were a woman. Like you couldn't, okay, you couldn't make choices of your own without consulting a male figure. I don't know who this male figure is. Could be your father, your husband, but you're somehow not treated equally. Like your opinions didn't matter or didn't have as much weight as the man next to you. That's why you feel resentment towards it. But yeah, that is a limiting belief that you can clear. No, but the resentment, can we clear it? Is the limiting belief like a soul contract that we have? No. Then it is a challenge for, okay. I'm asking if we can clear the limiting belief itself. So they told me no, but the resentment that you feel towards that is something that we can clear because it's trapped in your solar plexus. It's what I felt was burning. Okay. Can we transmute it to something? I'm asking your spirit guides if it's something that is for your highest good to clear. They're telling me yes, but it is up to her. That resentment can fuel changes. So it can be transmuted, Kendra, to something that will be productive. And I hear speak up whenever you feel uncomfortable when someone is making decisions for you. It's not a soul, I wouldn't call it a soul contract, but it is a challenge for you in this lifetime for you to overcome. Okay, what's the significance for this for her soul journey? There were wounds in the past, is what the Akashic Records are telling me, Kendra. There were wounds in the past about the masculine energy, like dominating. And so this is a chance for you to heal that. This experience is a chance for you to heal that. Kendra is saying definitely resonates, Diane. Thank you for validating that. Yeah. But is it something that you want to be clear, the resentment or transmuted? You can type in yes in the chat. If not, you can type in no. That's also okay. Because again, it's your choice. Okay, Kendra is saying yes. So I call in Archangel Raphael and the Akashic Records Masters. Please clear the trapped emotion of resentment from Kendra's physical body, her energy body, in all timelines, in all lifetimes, in the past, present, and future. For Kendra's highest good, the highest beautiful, and the most benevolent outcome. We ask that this trapped emotion be cleared. And it's done, Kendra. So I hope that helps. And thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. And I wish you the very best in healing this emotional wound. Okay, next person I'm reading for is Cindy Shane, who is asking for energy clearing. Sorry, let me just check if it's yours or if it's still Kendra's because I feel a release. Okay, they tell me it's for Kendra because I just burped. Not I don't mean to be rude, everyone. It's just how I release energy when we do the clearings. Okay, for Cindy's also this other plexus. Okay, no. What we need part. Okay, is her crown overactive? No. Your head is kind of glowing when I did the scan. And everyone, this is for entertainment and spiritual purposes only. Please always consult with your medical professional in matters concerning your health. Oh, okay. Is it just more than one? Are there more than one? But everything is here. Is it attached here? Can you show me how many? Hmm. Is it safe for us to remove the both cords for the highest and best interest? Okay. So, Cindy, what I'm getting for you is that there are energy cords that are attached to your head part. I'm seeing two, like two energy cords. So, um, energy cords are usually they get attached to us from other people most often. I did an episode on Soul Cloud before about energy cords as well. So if you'd like to know more about that, please do check that video out. Or a partner, or someone, an ex friend, are both cords from the same person. The other one from work, family, friends, relationships. Where's the other one coming from? Relatives. Ah, okay. There are two. One is from relatives, so they're not close family. So I feel like they are expecting a lot from you. I don't know if your head has been feeling, if you've been having headaches in the past week or you feel drained, but I'm seeing they are connected with the head. So you might be thinking about certain people and you don't know why. Excuse me. The other chord is coming from, I feel like a relationship or a past relationship. Someone is thinking of you and maybe not in a good way. And energy cards can be very draining. I don't know if you've been feeling exhausted or tired in the past days, Cindy. But usually those are indications that there are energy cards that are attached to you. Um, and energy cords, we remove them because we'd like to keep our energy body clear of other people's energies. So if this is something that you want to be cleared, cut, Cindy, please type in yes in the chat. If not, type in no, that's also okay. Or if you have any questions, yeah, type them in, please. But I'm seeing them both in here, in your head. Okay. Cindy is saying, yes, I've been getting headaches and I never get headaches. And yes, feeling exhausted. Okay. And you got the yes. But are the energy cords the reason for the exhaustion or for the headaches, Masters? The main reason. Okay. Oop. So let's do the clearing or the cord cutting. I call in Archangel Michael. Please cut all the energy cords attached to Cindy for her highest good, the highest good of all, the most benevolent outcome. And release all energy that doesn't belong to Cindy and call back the energy that does belong to her, back to her energy body. And it's done. I hope that helps, Cindy. And yeah, thank you so much for letting me do this clearing for you. And if you have any questions, you have my email. Email me. Hello, John. John is here. John is feeling excited. He says, my deck count reaches 13 tomorrow. 13 is a significant number for me. Congratulations, John. Thank you so much, John, for that. I appreciate it. Okay, next person we're reading for is Erin, who is asking any encouragement, tips, or tricks from the past that I can use to further me in this life. Thanks. Okay. And you're very welcome, Cindy. Could you show me a past life of Erin that would be most beneficial for her to know in this moment? Is this a past lifetime on Earth or in Phila? The Phila. Erin, have you watched the movie Dune with what's his name? What's his name? Timothy or Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya or Zendaya. I'm not sure if I'm mispronouncing their names, but I think they're the ones who are starring in that movie. But the scene that they're showing me, there's a desert place. It looks a lot like Dune, and it's not on Earth. Okay, it's not on Earth. This happened in a star system called Phila. I'm typing the name here. Ta-da! That's the name of the star system. Okay. Can you show me what past life Erin had in that lifetime? Okay, was she a scavenger? In that lifetime, you were a scavenger. What I'm seeing is that you had a ship and you worked with your brother in that lifetime. And you would get debris from outer space. And this debris is something that you sold. Mm. You would sell the debris, and that was your job. Okay, because they're telling me that there are parts of ships that are very valuable. That's why you do this work. And the result of that, the connection of that with this lifetime that you have is that you're very resourceful. Regardless of the challenges that are thrown to you, you would always find a ways to be resourceful and get through hard times by being resourceful. That is a gift that you brought from that lifetime to this. You see the beauty, you see the treasure in what other people consider as junk. And they don't mean this in the material way only. You see, you even do this for people. Is what they're telling me. You even do this for people. Even though they might present to you as, like, I don't want to say bad person, but whenever they present to you in negatively or they treat you badly, you would always look for the treasure in them. And this can be good, but there are also downsides to this because whenever you do this, you might be attracting like toxic people because you're tolerating their BS. So it's like a double edged sword, this gift that you have when it applies to people. But you would always see the beauty in things. You held on to the beauty in things. I don't know if that helps, Aaron, but they're highlighting that and that you're very resourceful. Okay, Aaron is saying, no, I haven't watched Dune yet. You don't need to. I was just trying to describe the scenery that I was seeing. It looked like a desert place, and you would fly in and out of it with your ship. It was a very small ship that you and your brother would use to scavenge the parts. I say small, but it's still pretty big. Like it's not as small as a car. It's still as big as a house, but considerably smaller than the other ships. But yeah, they're highlighting your being resourceful. That is your gift. Erin is saying true recycling is good, better if you're creative. But I don't like feeling or being treated like a scavenger. It was a tough life for you because it was like trying to make ends meet every day. Like you were trying to get food, but what you had was fuel. Or what fuel was during that time. It looked very primitive, um, all things considered. Like the other ships that we see or I see in the records, they use a different technology. But this feels similar to our ships wherein we use fuel. It's usually not like that, but in that lifetime that you had, that's what you had. And it's different to look for food. That was the main concern for you during that lifetime. And that's what you traded. What you traded the junk for, or the parts of the ship that you would scavenge from outer space. Because there were ongoing wars during that time. There were ongoing wars and ships get blown. And so you'd get the parts and you would trade them and sell them for food. Yeah, you were very resourceful during that time. So I hope that helps, Erin. And thank you again for letting me do this reading for you. Thank you so much, Annie. Annie is saying, highly recommended a private reading with Diana specialties, knowing the last 10 star systems you've been on. I love doing this, knowing or getting the starseed history of people. I enjoy doing it. It feels like I'm getting the hero's journey, or I'm helping people remember their hero's journey. So I love doing this. Thank you, Annie Bear. Okay, it's time for us to draw for another set. I know I'm at the top of the hour, but I want to do a few more. I want to do three more. So if you haven't done it yet, please type in hashtag masters to enter the draw for a reading. Next person. Cat0033. Congratulations, Cat. And please type in your question. Hypnicity, Nalani, congratulations, and please type in your question. D Painless. D Painless, congratulations, and please type in your question. Okay, got your question, Nalani. And yes, Annie, we're doing a show every month, and yes, we will be on at July 22nd, 2 p.m. Pacific. I love that it appears like 222. This really made my day, Annie, seeing 222. Okay, I have your question, Nalani, and Be Painless, and Cat. Okay, so the first person I'm reading for this batch is Cat, who is asking for a past life that she had with her granddaughter. Amazing. This is in Venus. What I'm seeing is not a past lifetime on Earth, Cat. I hope that's okay. This is a past lifetime that you had with your granddaughter in Venus. Because I'm seeing Venusians. Okay. Oh, she's a mom. And then the granddaughter is her daughter in that lifetime. Okay. You had a past lifetime together in Venus where you were mother and daughter. You were mother and daughter. Awesome. I'm going to fast forward it because what I'm seeing was your daughter was a baby or your granddaughter was a baby during that time. Okay, what kind of relationship did they have in the past? You were more like a teacher to her. You were a mother, but aside from being a mother, you were her teacher. So I'm seeing her trying to teach you how to write. or you trying to teach her how to write when she was a child in that lifetime. You had a writing system to record things. I don't understand what you're teaching her because it's in different symbols, but you taught her how to write. Okay. Are you strict in this lifetime, Kat? What I'm seeing is that your daughter, which is your granddaughter right now, wanted to play. And you feel like it's your responsibility to teach her things. So there were times when you wouldn't allow her to play, and that's where the conflict between the two of you come from. Uh, okay, I'm hearing there is a time to study and there is a time to play. Right now is not the time to play. And your daughter, your granddaughter in this lifetime would sulk and pout because of that. But that was the kind of relationship that you had in that lifetime in Venus. Because for you, you took it on as a responsibility to educate your daughter. Okay. They're telling me it's because she will have a role in the future. A temple scribe. Okay. They're telling me her future role in that past lifetime was a temple scribe. And so it's something that is passed on from you to her. You were also a temple scribe. What did you write? Okay. They're telling me that what you wrote was like potions or a recipe for potions during that time. You would record recipe for potions. That's why accuracy and precision was important because if the wrong dose is given or if the wrong amount of ingredients are added to the potion, it might have different effects to the patient or to the person they're giving the potion to. It's a temple, but it kind of works both ways in like being a spiritual center and a healing center, from my understanding, what they're showing me. That's why they're describing you as a temple scribe. And you really took it upon your responsibility to train her because she was like the next in line to that job that you were doing. Kat is saying she's a baby now. Yeah, but that was the kind of relationship that you had in the past. It was a good relationship, peaceful. Um, but yeah, I don't see a lot of conflict just in that part when she was a child because I'm seeing that she loves to play. She loves to play in that lifetime as most kids do. But it wasn't the time for her to play. At least that was what you were saying. It's not the time to play, it's time to study. And you were training her from a very young age. Just writing, writing accurately in the sense that you're dictating things. Because I guess that's how it worked in that lifetime. Things would be dictated, and as a scribe, you would write it. Yeah. But I hope that helps, Kat. It's very interesting. I think I learned a bit about Venus through this reading. So thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. And I hope that helps. So next person is Hypnosty, who is asking which of my past lives is holding me back on my current path. Okay. What is her soul mission or assignment in this part of in this period of her life, Master? She a messenger. Okay. So I asked first, what is her current soul mission in this lifetime? What's your soul mission, Nalani, in this lifetime or in this period of your life? And I got that you're being a messenger. So messengers are usually the channelers, tarot readers who deliver messages from spirit to other people. And I'm getting a strong yes on this for you. Okay, is there anything holding Nalani back from this mission that she has right now? I'm getting a no. Like I am holding a small pendulum and I'm getting a strong no. There's nothing holding you back in terms of past life. There's no blocks, no emotions attached or emotions trapped from past lives regarding this. So what's holding her back? Is it from this current life? Nothing's holding you back, is what I'm getting. But it's more the word that keeps popping out is self doubt, but it's not coming from this from a past lifetime. It's coming from this one because you don't trust yourself. And I'm getting a strong yes. Getting a strong yes. Sometimes I fear like the pendulum is going to break, and it's going to hit the computer. Thank you, masters. Okay, what is she trying to learn from this experience, please? So instead of asking what past life, I'm trying to ask, what are you trying to learn from this experience that you have, from these challenges that you have in being a messenger and delivering messages from spirit. Okay. Let me know if this resonates for you, Nalani. But the past, the lesson that you're trying to learn from this experience is failure. Are you afraid of making a mistake? Are you afraid of that you're saying the wrong thing? Or are you afraid that what you're getting isn't right, quote unquote, right? Oh, Hypnicity is saying, I do automatic writing. Makes sense. I feel like part of it is being afraid of failing and being afraid of making mistakes. That's why there's a lot of self doubt in the moment. And this is Diane talking. But what helped me get through the self doubt is a lot of practice. And there are in our community we're very lucky because there are a few practice sessions ongoing, and there are some for specific topics. Like the one I regularly attend is the Akashic Records practice sessions with Linda de Gonzalez and our group. We do that so we can read for each other and develop confidence within ourselves. It took me a while before I started doing this on YouTube, before I can develop confidence. So if it's something that resonates for you and you feel like it's something that can help, please do, Nalani. Oh no! Ethnicity is saying yes. If I'm not perfect, I'm not good enough. That's not true. The world does not need your perfection. The world just needs you, your authenticity. No one is really perfect. And so in that sense, all of us are perfect. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind. Oh, you're very welcome, Nalani. Nalani is saying, thank you for diving for me. It's no worries. Uh, Hypnicity, the one that we have is for Akashic Records readers who are graduates of Val's class. But there are a few that I've seen before where it's general, or there are mediumships as well, like mediumship centered. But you need to look for them. Is from my understanding, there are general psychic practice sessions that you might want to go to. But yeah, I'm not quite sure who are holding them right now. The ones that I'm familiar with is the one that I attend to for Akashic Records, and then mediumship ones. Nalani saying, "Okay, I'm going to plant seeds of confidence in my garden." That's the spirit. Yeah. Yes, Annie is saying, "Just be yourself, everyone." Yeah. So thank you so much for letting me read for you, Nalani, and I hope that helps. And last but not the least for this episode, in this round, is the Painless who is asking, I have recently been directed by my guides to work as a healer. I love healers. Okay. I'm starting to be shown how to do the work. This is completely out of the blue. Have I been a healer in any of my past lives? Yes. I'm not even diving into it. I'm just getting goosebumps from saying yes. Once a healer, always a healer. But I'm going to dive into the records now to see like what kind of healing you did in the past. Is this Reiki? Not Reiki necessarily, but is this from Earth? Not from Earth. But it looks like Venus. They're showing me a lifetime, but it's not on Earth. So I'm trying to figure out where this is, where you learned healing. Was this in Sirius? You had a past lifetime in Sirius A. Okay, in Sirius A. This is where you learned or first learned how to heal the painless. And what they were showing me is that you had hands on someone's head and you would massage their arm. So it was more of a physical healing in that lifetime, in that first lifetime where you started to learn how to heal. And what Sirius specializes in is a lot of physical body healing. Um, like a lot of our doctors had past lifetimes in Sirius, and our nurses had past lifetimes in Sirius because of that experience. It's their specialty. Reiki also comes from Sirius, so I don't know if you're doing Reiki right now, but yeah, it's a Syrian modality. But for you, what I'm seeing is that you would massage them. So it's like both energetic and physical at the same time. You would massage their arms. And I'm seeing that your patient back then was, oh, okay. It's like she had paralysis. So it's like physical therapy, what you were doing back then to her. A physical therapist, a Syrian physical therapist. That's you. That's you, deep painless. A Syrian physical therapist is how I would best describe you. And deep painless is saying this feels physical. It makes sense. Again, that's a specialty of Sirius. So, yeah, it's something that you've been doing for quite a while now, and you're just remembering. And I'm getting goosebumps again. It's something that you're remembering from that past lifetime in Sirius. I'm trying to get more information for that. Okay. How did she learn how to? How did they learn how to do this? I'm hearing apprenticeship. You were an apprentice, or you worked as an apprentice for someone, and they would train you. Like initially, you would shadow the or mimic the emotions that your master or your teacher, your mentor did. That's how you learned in that lifetime. So I hope that helps Deep Painless. And yeah, once a healer, always a healer. It doesn't mean that you're limited to that modality only, but maybe there's a reason why they're showing it right now. Like it can be connected to how you're experiencing this right now and how you're learning it right now. And Jax, thank you so much for all your help today and every day. And please enjoy your supper. And Deep Painless, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. And I really, really hope that helps. Oh, Deep Painless is saying it is more skeletal currently. That would make sense because you were doing like physical. You would feel the muscles, the bones, and massage them. Yeah, physical therapy. It's very interesting. So thank you so much again for letting me do this reading for you. It's very interesting to see past lives from other star systems for me because even though they happened like maybe thousands of years ago, could be millions of years ago, there's a part of it that we still carry within us and is still connected with our life right now. So it's very interesting and I don't know, it just makes me feel warm whenever that happens. So I'm going to close the records now, everyone. Thank you again for being here. I would like to close by thanking the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to close by thanking the Akashic Records Masters for their point of view. And I would like to close by thanking the Divine Source for all the knowledge and healing. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen. Your energy stays with you, and my energy stays with me. Thank you so much, everyone. And as we wrap up today's conversation, I hope we were able to provide clarity during this shows, during Soul Cloud. Sometimes it's not giving we don't really get the specific answers, but we get something a bit clearer. Maybe it's not about memorizing labels, whether it's spirit guides or Akashic Records Masters or angels, or trying to fit every experience into a neat category because sometimes it gets confusing and we don't know the difference, but it feels right, it resonates. So maybe it's about approaching our spiritual practice with curiosity, discernment, and an open heart. The Akashic Records invites us to listen deeply, not just for answers, but for wisdom, for remembrance, and sometimes understanding where that guidance comes from can help us trust the process a little bit more. So, everyone, I'd love to hear your thoughts before we go. Leave it in the comments, especially if you're watching the replay. Leave it in the comments after the show. Was there anything in today's discussion or even in the readings that changed or expanded your understanding of the Akashic Records? Yeah, I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear that from you. So, yeah, please leave a comment after the show. And if you've enjoyed today's live stream, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel if you haven't done that yet. It really helps Soul Cloud reach more people who are curious about the soul and the Akashic Records. So again, everyone, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I appreciate it deeply and gratefully. So whether this is your first visit or you've been a part of this community for a while, I'm really grateful that you're here. So everyone, until next time, please stay curious about the soul.